You walk into a room and your words mean nothing. Your status, your threats, they all evaporate. Why? Because someone across the table is looking right through you. Not at you. Through you. Thomas Shelby mastered this. It wasn't magic. It was a weapon. A technique so powerful it could dismantle a person before he ever spoke a word. And today, we're breaking down exactly how he did it, and how you can borrow a piece of that power. So what is the X-ray gaze? It's a combination of intense observation and psychological pressure. It's not about having piercing blue eyes. It's about turning your gaze into an instrument of data collection. Most people use eye contact to connect. Shelby used it to dissect. He turned a social norm into a battlefield. Cillian Murphy, the actor, even said he developed the stare by trying to be as still as possible, reducing his blinks to make the character feel relentless, almost reptilian. This isn't just a TV trick. It's rooted in the real-world psychology of predators. In nature, the predator is often the stillest thing in the forest, watching, waiting, gathering information before the strike. Shelby does the same thing in a boardroom or a back-alley pub. If you find this breakdown of psychological tactics fascinating, make sure you're subscribed. We go deep on this stuff every week. Let's start with the foundation, stillness. Before you can read anyone, you have to become unreadable yourself. Think about it. When someone is nervous, they fidget. They shift their weight, tap their fingers, their eyes dart around. These are called tells. They leak information. Thomas Shelby's first principle is to eliminate all tells. His head remains perfectly level. His shoulders are down and relaxed, but his posture is strong. His hands are often occupied with a cigarette or a drink, but the movements are slow, deliberate, and economical. There is zero wasted energy. This physical control creates an aura of immense confidence and danger. It sends a subconscious signal to the other person. I am not rattled. I am in complete control of myself, and therefore this situation. Before he even starts his scan, he has already established dominance through sheer, unnerving stillness. Now for the active part, the scan. This is where the X-ray name comes from. It's not a passive stare. It's an active search for information. Shelby's gaze typically follows a triangular pattern. He looks from one eye to the other eye, down to the mouth and back up. Why? The eyes reveal emotion and intent. The mouth reveals suppressed feelings, a slight quiver of fear, a tightening of anger. He's not just listening to your words, he's watching your face to see if it confirms or contradicts what you're saying. He's looking for the flicker of doubt when you make a promise, the flash of fear when he makes a threat, the subtle curl of contempt when you think you have the upper hand. He's cross-referencing your verbal story with your nonverbal one, and he trusts the nonverbal story more. This is why his gaze feels so invasive. He's not just making eye contact, he's auditing your soul. The gaze is powerful, but its true partner is silence. An average conversation has pauses of about 1 second. Shelby stretches his to 5, 10, even 15 seconds. This is a psychological masterstroke. Most people are terrified of silence. They feel an overwhelming urge to fill it. And when they rush to fill that void, they get sloppy. They say more than they intended. They make weaknesses. They make concessions just to break the tension. Shelby uses his gaze to hold the silence in place. He maintains that intense, unblinking eye contact, essentially saying, I am perfectly comfortable here. The pressure is on you. The other person crumbles, offering up information Shelby never even had to ask for. He forces them to negotiate against themselves. It's a conversational vacuum, and he knows that nature abhors a vacuum. They will pour their secrets into it just to make it stop. Here's a more advanced layer. Shelby's face during these confrontations is often a complete blank, a neutral mask. This triggers something called the mirror effect. Because he's giving them no emotional data to react to, they start projecting their own internal state onto him. If they are scared, they see a monster. If they are arrogant, they see a fool they can underestimate. If they are deceitful, they see a man who knows their every secret. His neutrality becomes a canvas for their own insecurities. He doesn't have to be a monster. Their own fear paints him as one simply by showing them nothing at all. This is why so many people misjudge him right before he destroys them. They aren't reacting to the real Thomas Shelby. They're reacting to the reflection of their own weaknesses that he shows them. He becomes whatever they fear most simply by showing them nothing at all. So, how do you build this skill without just staring at people and making them uncomfortable? It's about practice and calibration. First, practice stillness. Sit in a chair for 5 minutes and focus on not moving. No fidgeting, no scratching, nothing. Just be still. Second, the soft gaze. Don't stare intensely. Instead, relax your eyes and look at the whole triangle of a person's face, eyes and mouth, rather than locking on to a single point. It's less aggressive, but just as observant. Third, people watch with purpose. Go to a public place and just observe. Don't listen to conversations, just watch the non-verbal dance. Who is leaning in? Who is closed off? Who is leading the conversation? You're training your brain to see the hidden language. Finally, practice holding eye contact for just 1 second longer than feels comfortable in your normal conversations. This small change builds your tolerance for sustained focus and starts to subtly shift the power dynamic in your favor. It's crucial to talk about the ethics here. There is a massive difference between observation and manipulation. Observation is about gathering information to better understand a situation. It's what great leaders, negotiators, and even therapists do. It leads to empathy and clarity. Manipulation is using that information to exploit someone's weaknesses for your own gain. Thomas Shelby lives on this line and often crosses it. For him, it's about survival. For you, in the real world, this skill should be a tool for connection and protection, not predation. Use it to understand if a client is truly happy with a proposal. Use it to see if a friend is hiding that they're having a bad day. Use it to protect yourself in a negotiation. Power is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used to build or to break. In the end, the Thomas Shelby gaze isn't just about staring. It's a complete system. It's the stillness that builds pressure, the active scan that gathers data, and the strategic silence that breaks your opponent. It's a reminder that the most powerful person in the room isn't always the loudest. Often, it's the one who is watching, listening, and understanding the things that are never said. The real conversations, the real battles, happen in the silence between words. What other character from movies or TV do you think has this same kind of power? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them.